Hello, Just Too Good here with...
Duck Briggs, how's it going, everyone?
And we want to review Piece by Piece. Now, I gotta thank Focus Features and LEGO for allowing me to go to this premiere. But I'm giving you my honest opinion.
Yeah, and likewise, full disclosure, it is 2 a.m., so my thoughts might be a little less coherent than usual, but I do have a lot of those thoughts, and I want to hear yours, so let's do it.
He has a plane. I'm about to go to sleep, so don't expect anything super made up. But, okay, so Piece by Piece, a lot of people know me as, okay, you don't like any movies or stuff like that. I love so many movies, which I don't understand that. Like, Hollywood, you see? Even Duck will say it. Sorry about Alien Romulus.
No, Alien Romulus slapped. You're
4 out of 10.
You're so flawed for the... What? I'm out of here.
No, but seriously, this movie, I was actually kind of surprised because everybody was when we first saw the trailer, and there's a Lego Pharrell Williams movie. Like, what's going on here? The initial idea seems like a cash grab. Seems like I was going to go in cynical and say it's not good or whatever like that. But honestly, I kind of enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have said it seems like a cash grab because I'm not convinced there's much cash to grab for this movie. because it's like such a weird concept to have. It's really, I didn't even get this from the trailer. Like, it wasn't obvious to me from the trailer what it was, but without going to spoilers, it's a documentary. Like, it's not like a fictional retelling of his story. It is straight up a documentary. It's interviews, it's him telling the story. And it's so strange how it just happens to be animated out of Lego. I think that's a piece that isn't maybe quite clicking for me is why was it Lego? They have a little bit about it at the end, like why it was an inspiration, but the director said that they filmed it as a regular documentary and then made it Lego, and I think that's very obvious. It felt like I was watching a documentary. I forgot it was Lego halfway through. I straight up didn't even realize.
Interesting. I was always aware it was Lego. Like, because I guess I watched a lot of this person's other documentaries. Right. It is a pretty different style.
Okay.
Where we just kind of have the subject themselves leading the documentary, because the ones that I've seen from him, which I actually loved, all three of the ones I saw, it was Best of Enemies, which was about Buckley and Vidal, and that was archive footage. The Mr. Rogers one, archive footage. The Roadrunner one, Anthony Bourdain, archive footage. So it was kind of like, this was a different style. More focused on the interviews, which I know some of the ones I just mentioned had some interviews here and there. But the design of this, I actually kind of disagree with, or I kind of more understand why they used Lego. Okay. Because I felt like, personally, they had a lot of interesting animation with the Lego.
That's true. That's true.
To visualize concepts and things that they talk about, than just shooting it in an interview talking head style. So there's like a breakup there. Is it a lot of talking heads? Yeah, but I think it's more interesting than other talking head documentaries because you are seeing these the Legofication of it, which isn't just let's copy it in Lego, but there's visual gags that are added to it. Like, I think it's a very funny movie. Yeah.
There were a lot of like funny background gags that really made me chuckle. Yeah.
And I will say there is if you're not into pop or hip hop, maybe you might struggle a little bit with this movie because there's a lot of pop and hip hop music, and rap music. So I could see people, especially if you don't like pop music. I know a lot of people don't like pop music. You're probably going to struggle with the movie and maybe not enjoy it. Personally, I have a soft spot for pop music. I'm all like, if movies, the stuff that we just saw from Hollywood for this thing was disappointing and stuff like that. But like popular music, I'm not as refined in my taste of music, so I like to with it. Literally Hollaback Girl, shit like that. Like it's like I'll like it was even Happy, which they references from like I hate Despicable Me, Minions and stuff like that. But like they literally I was like
they did mention it. Yep.
I was kind of jamming to Happy when they played it. So yeah. If you don't like that music whatsoever, then this probably isn't going to be as much as an enjoyable experience for you.
Yeah.
So do you have more to add?
Yeah, I think it was really interesting. I was surprised at the level of depth of like the deepness of the storytelling as well as like the topics they tackled.
Oh yes, we
For a
gotta talk
Lego
about that.
film was quite shocking to me to see them go. I mean, there were like some swear words were spoken. They were
Yeah.
very explicit.
We
in
said
some-
shit in this video because they said shit
Correct.
3 times in the movie.
Correct.
That's PG.
Yeah.
Which, it's like, sure, you're gonna say the SpongeBob like roller coaster ride bump meme.
Yeah.
You ever see that where it's like, okay, the extreme thing is not extreme, but
Yeah.
honestly, as a Lego fan, I was very happy to see that they didn't hold back, and not
Yeah.
only with more adult aspects,
Religion.
but there was straight up like
Yeah.
a church, which I want a set of. Like religion is kind of it's not like a super heavy part of the story,
It's
but
part of the beginning.
it is
part.
part-
Of
yeah,
and
it does
kinda-
have a substantial
It pops
part.
up a lot, and then also there was a lot of like political stuff as well when it comes to. I mean, there were like really like anti-police protests in Lego, like minifigures holding up signs.
Lego minifigures holding up BLM signs.
Yeah, like I can't breathe signs.
Yeah,
Like, I
and,
was
like-
shocked to see that, but in a good way. I was like, wow, Lego actually let them do this.
And it worked with the story too. It didn't feel like it was just like shoving it in our faces or anything
Yeah.
like that. Which any message can be shoved in our face or not. It's not specific to those. I know some people are gonna be like, "Oh, it's what this type of messages do," but I don't subscribe to that. In terms of that idea that okay, yeah, this is like it's too woke or whatever. We're trying to avoiding it. Maybe this part will be cut. But
Lego gone woke. They're
Okay, now-
catering to the woke mob.
it's like Chris's Trump. This is pretty epic. Okay, this will probably get left in now.
We got it. Yeah. But no, I think like the movie itself was quite good. I did like it as a documentary. I do have to say the animation style was great. It wasn't quite up to snuff as the previous Lego films. I think part of that was because it was partially animated by Pure Imagination Studios, which does Lego Dreams. Completely honestly, I have not been super impressed with the quality of the Lego Dreams animation. And I think that some of that carries on. It's a different animation style for sure, but I think some of that level of, okay, well the backgrounds aren't super detailed or the textures aren't crazy detailed like they used to be, that definitely does carry into this movie, but it's also not that kind of movie. It's not trying to be the Lego movie.
I'm glad it's its own thing.
Yeah.
I will say about that. I liked the animation a lot. Like I said, it made it feel like the Lego choices were purposeful and what they tried to illustrate and things like that. I will say, for me, it was the art style of the minifigures and stuff. They have that very glossy look.
Yeah.
So the art direction I liked less, and it's because it looks right off the bat worse than the Lego movie. The textures are just not like that gritty textures, that the Lego movies from Warner Bros. Did. And I'm not saying it has to be exactly that, but it felt like they just downgraded to something you'd see in like a Lego video game or something like that. Almost. But there's great movement to it, which is why I like the animation. It's just more of the art style for me that was kind of like putting it out in terms of just being a less interesting version of the Lego movies, one which was from almost 10 years ago.
It was like the cutscenes that TT Games made for the Lego movie video games. I think that's the best, better by a lot.
Yeah.
But,
It reminded me a bit of the Lego Force Awakens game.
Yes,
The textures from that game, it's like
yes,
that.
it's like that.
And at some points, if I had to be honest, it was, because obviously all this was not honest because they sent us here for free, so we're just lying to you. I'm just shilling this to you. No.
Chills.
But if I had to be honest, that little joke of mine just told me, what was I going to be honest about? What were we talking about?
We were talking about animation style.
Animation style. Dang it, I had such a great point, you all, and I
Yeah.
can't remember it.
Okay. Well, I will have to say that yes, animation style wasn't quite as good as I was hoping. I think. Okay, go on.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
just remembered it. Literally, it was frustrating to see some Lego things just not work in the universe of Lego.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how the non-existent ball cap part doesn't exist, so we can't really judge it, but it was weird to see a cap perfectly sitting on this non-existent ball cap piece. In one scene, you could see he has the bald cap and the hat on. I'm like, how would Lego would never do that? That you would have rest of the cap very slyly on that little bald cap.
Yeah, there was that. I think there were a couple other things as well. I remember the thing that stuck out to me was because the director said at the end, he was like, "Oh, every single piece is Lego. It might not be in the right color." There were trombones in the movie. like a couple of times. The argument could be made that they were connected with like cut up flex tube that was perfectly curved. I don't know like how convinced I am of that argument. Like I'm not like yes, I guess like it could have been. It could have been a recolored cut up flex tube perfectly in a C shape, but it was just stuff like that where I feel like the other Lego movies did it better in terms of keeping things very close. For the some
I mean actually, yeah, the one that I just think of is the Ninjago movie, kind of like a little bit.
Push it a little bit.
But honestly, I'm like, it was still more realistic in Lego than this.
Right.
And at least that would be like noticeable that, okay, it was weird. It would be like, okay, it's outside now, but it's like, okay, it's outside. Like, it was like in a garden or something. Like
but I think that was the point of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
The Ninjago movie, they were like, oh, the kid's playing outdoors.
Yeah, exactly.
But like
that's
this
what I'm saying,
movie,
it made more sense there, yeah.
It was straight up like, that piece doesn't
There was
exist.
another one that annoyed me, was like, somebody had like glasses on. It was just like, it was literally like a glasses piece onto a regular minifigure head with like the sides not connecting to anything.
Yeah. But then other times they did really good.
Oh yeah,
because
like amazing hair pieces in here.
The hair piece, but also the one that really got me was there's a point where he has a fish in a bowl, and the fish is like clearly printed on the side of the bowl, and the print is moving, but it's like on the outside. I love that.
They also do that in another part too, and I'm like, I love that. Yeah,
yes,
that was great.
That other part as well, where he's being shaken around.
Yeah,
like, that is
that
literally
great.
like that's cool. That's Lego, but it was inconsistent. I think a little bit. As a Lego movie, I think that there will be a lot of people in the Lego community that probably will maybe even skip this one or like go into it expecting one of the Lego movies and come out of it being like, what did I just watch? But I think if you go into it knowing it is straight up a documentary about Pharrell, it's about his life, it is about how he got here. And yes, I think the Lego thing was supplementary. It made some visuals
I think
better.
Even like for me, like I like that it wasn't just about Pharrell. Like there was like a story there of like
all the other
finding
artists
your
he pushed,
of course there was that. But like the idea was like it was like finding your agency.
Yeah.
And like literally having your own agency, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
The almost like business relationships and professional relationships and making art.
Yeah, it was like educational.
Like literally, like I was like, okay, these are like themes that I haven't seen explored in this type of way with this type of discipline. Like it was honestly like it had interesting things to say, and like honestly there was maybe one or two like emotionally effective moments and like like, oh wow, that actually was like emotionally effective in like a somber way and stuff like that. Like I was kind of amazed by that. I'm trying to think if there's more things to say. I mean, we could talk about just like crazy things they had in there, but I don't want to spoil too much.
Yeah,
because like I feel like I'm already saying too much about it. But like, again, it is so funny to say, but it pushes the envelope for a PG movie.
It really does. Like
at least for 2024, because like Jaws was PG,
but like for this, like I think this was the most like PG-13 PG movie I've seen in a while.
Legit.
And I never would have expected that out of Lego piece by piece. And it
makes me happy because one thing that I'm kind of getting less interested in a lot of Lego themes is because I feel like Lego's very much restricting themselves to their values to a point of not wanting to explore adult territory unless it means like a complex, expensive build.
Yeah.
This was something that, okay, it had like, it was making political statements. It was like, it had things to say. It was taking these adult ideas and didn't try to dumb things down. Here and there, they did at some points in terms of like.
I will say the one time they did it though that was obvious was so funny.
Yeah. There was a funny one.
There was one funny one where I'm like, that's
actually
hilarious.
It was like because like they use a sensor twice in terms of like it popping up on the mouth.
Yeah.
And like even that didn't bother me as much as other movies. Like I think
they just didn't censor it 3 other times.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
but like it was good because they didn't censor in like scenes where it was like
serious.
emotionally. I was like, okay, that's cool. And like, they don't really cut around songs. There was only one song that they cut around, which I don't know if I should say is in there. But like, other than that, like they played or it seemed like a lot of the original lyrics of the songs and things like that.
They do.
So like they don't even hold back on that.
Yeah.
There's like literally like Lego minifigures in like sexy thongs. Like
it's like, yo, get me one of those minifigures.
Literally like skimpy bikini. Like it was insane. And I'm kind of like honestly, I'm so glad it didn't hold back.
Yeah.
Like it was interesting in many ways because of that. So I don't know if it's just because I have so much love for Lego. that I enjoyed this, and I hope it's not that, because I think this was actually like again, I didn't like think this was the best movie ever, but like for me it was like a 6 out of 10. Like
It's a good documentary.
it was a good documentary. It did
Yeah.
things interesting. It blew my expectations out of the water
Oh,
for
yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
What I saw before. I'm just trying to think. Was there anything else we forgot to mention that is not spoiling anything?
I don't think so. Yeah, no, it was pretty solid. I liked, and I guess a good explanation of why they use Lego is because they depict people at different points in their lives, and that was a
great
really
explanation.
important thing. I
Yeah.
think because obviously you don't have footage of those times, but you could animate it. So I think that was another reason to do that. So,
That's
yeah.
a great. That brings up, because it's like, again, it was like almost like a different format in that regards, because like
Yeah.
like I was saying, like it visually used Lego in interesting animation ways. But yeah, like there's a lot of just like it's a very like visual representation of like, you know, what's going on in ways that isn't using like archival footage, because it's not trying to archive any footage or anything like that. So like I thought it was interesting in how it used it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the medium was cool. I mean, it's always good to see another Lego movie. One thing I will say is that like when the movie opened, there was a new like cinematic Lego intro.
Yo, I
thought that was
I
very
did see
cool
that.
because
That was
I'm like,
cool.
does that mean that they're like planning more of these and there's gonna be more stuff like it? That was very cool. So I
Let's
did like
hope.
that.
Yeah, literally. Oh my gosh. I think that is it. For I will say, okay, there was once in a while there was like animation inconsistencies.
Oh yeah.
Like I noticed that like one character who had lips, literally in one scene in the actual scene, like in 1 second
Yeah.
they don't have the lips, and then the other second they do.
Like I'm used to stuff like that in like old Ninjago episodes, not a theatrical movie.
That's where it was like a little bit, yeah. So again, not perfect, but yeah, we quite enjoyed it and we were quite surprised by it. So
yeah, I'd watch it again.
I want to hear what y'all think. You know, if you
When it
disagree,
comes out, yeah.
just be super. You know, this is just our movie opinion. So you know, if you disagree or if you agree, just be respectful in the comments. But yeah, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you for having me.
All right,
You're
Duck
a
Bricks is
6
always welcome. Oh,
6 out of 10?
Yeah, 6 out of 10. What are you? Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you said you agreed, but yeah, what would you rate it? Would you?
It's around there. Maybe a little lower, like 5.
Dang, a
5.5?
5 out of 10. Look, even lower. Yeah, that's fine.
A little bit, yeah.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Like usually I'm the tough one.
yeah.
So that's a tougher score than me. That's totally okay.
It's how it is, yeah.
But
But no,
then-
I thought it was fun.
I also don't use 0.5s.
Okay, well then that's hard to say.
No.
I'm around
I'm
it.
saying I don't. I said
Right,
you're
I'm-
good.
I'm-
If you're
I'm in the
5.5, you're
range.
5.5.
I'm in
That's
the
your
range.
rating. I'm just saying
Yeah.
for me. Some people say it's
Yeah.
55 out of 100.
It was
you know?
like a little better than expected
Mm-hmm.
for me. Yeah. So-
Yeah, for me it was a lot better than I expected, but yeah, maybe.
But maybe I think your expectations were lower than mine. So yeah.
Not to be mean, because I genuinely love Morgan Neville as a director, like a documentary director. I love watching documentaries, and I mentioned the ones in this video that like genuinely connected with me, and those are all the ones that I saw aside from this one. So like, I'm just going to check out more of his documentaries and stuff like that. But he has a good streak of documentaries. All right. I think that's it. So
Yes.
we'll see you later. Subscribe
Thanks
to
for having
Duck
me.
Bricks.
Subscribe to
Just
Just
Too
Too Good.
Hey, I
Yo.
like that. Okay. All right.
All right.
See y'all. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.